by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out. The best way to grow your wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out. Northwestern University will be the government, will be proposing, will be the affirmative, and Solwezi School of Education, rather Solwezi College of Education, will be the opposition. May I have someone to please call the panelists to come up front so that we can begin this round of debate. Someone from Solwezi College of Education, please call your colleagues so that we can begin. Okay. Northwestern University, you can please come up front. You have more time. Northwestern University to my left. A big round of applause as they take up the stage. Solwezi College of Education, you can also come up front to my right. A big round of applause. I'm not sure if it's because people are hungry, but I've noticed the support has gone down. Can we make some more noise, please? Like I said, the motion states as follows. The best way to grow your wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out. Solwezi College of Education will be opposing and Northwestern University will be the government. The same rules apply to this debate as well. Do not make noise. If you hear something you like, you just snap. To the debaters, I'll just run through the rules once again. The first three speakers will be given 4 minutes each. In these 4 minutes, they will be prone to 2 interjections. However, they cannot be interjected in the first 1 minute. Also, your interjection will only last 20 seconds, nothing more. The last speaker on each side will be given 5 minutes, within which they cannot be interjected. Let us get into this round of debate. I will ask that you please write. I have 2 papers, please, so that they can write for us their names. All right, let us begin. Ladies and gentlemen, let us please welcome the Prime Minister from Northwestern University. A round of applause. So we can do much better than that. Let's make some noise for the Prime Minister.
Greetings to the assembled intellectuals. Greetings to the assembled intellectuals. I simply say all protocol high concept. I, the Prime Minister from the government, and representing the government, we are going to propose on the motion and let's take and vote. The best way to grow wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out. I repeat, the best way to grow wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out. It is therefore my duty as the Prime Minister to define key terms. The following are the key terms. Wealth. Wealth is simply the accumulation of variable resources, assets, and position. Money. Money is a system of exchange that allows the trade of goods and services with each other. Investment. Investment is to go further without introducing the roles that my members are going to play. We as the government, proposing to the motion, we are going to propose for IGO in the following way. My deputy prime minister is going to articulate on the following points. Is there to manage and understand full control over the investment? Secondly, the government member is going to articulate on the following points. Successive investors have done it. Second point, avoiding media retaining. Finally, the government whip is going to summarize, make and amend the affirmations. Therefore, going forward, I, as the Prime Minister, I stand here today proposing to the motion which has been affirmations with the first point, higher potential returns. Members of the House, what you are saying is that when you put all your money in one type of investment, it is possible for you to come up with higher returns because you'll be focused. It's not possible for you to focus on a lot of things, but you put your money this side, you also put your money this side. There will be no concentration and focus on that. Even the Bible itself says you cannot serve two masters. It is impossible for you to serve two masters. You can't have a number of investments and you expect yourself to come up with better results. No. As a result, we, the government, we are strongly proposing to this motion because it gives you an assurance of returns which are
the speaker.
Members of the House, assembled intellectuals, my speaker is just from saying high potential returns. That even the Bible says that you should concentrate on one thing, but what if the other party does not perform well? What to defend?
May the speaker continue.
Thank you for that. According to what you said, when you're coming up with as a team, when you're investing, you need to choose, you need to do your level best. Yes, quite alright, you can say, you have to choose your level best. You have to know what exactly you are doing. I rest my case.
A round of applause, please. There's some noise in the house. Let us remember the rules. As someone is speaking, let us keep quiet. Let us allow them to speak so that we don't disturb the flow of the debate. That was the Prime Minister. At this point, let us give an opportunity to the opposition leader to introduce the points for the opposition side. A big round of applause for the opposition leader.
Depending on one source of income can lead to a lot of losses. Affiliates of the debate session. Before I go any further, allow me to recognize the presence of the most dignified people in the House of Debate, or may I simply say, all protocol be highly observed. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, allow me to quote the motion as I said. The best way to grow well is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out. End of quotation. Affiliates of this debate session, I being the Prime Minister, I being the first speaker from the opposing side, it is my role, or rather my obligation, to break down the motion into simplicity. Allow me to define the combined terms in the motion. To start with, according to Oxford Dictionary, page 1726, defines wealth as a large amount of money. Not only that, an investment also is the act of putting in money, property, etc. that a person can own. May the good Samaritan do as well. Affiliates of the debate session, members of the House, the government is stating to say investing money in one investment can cause high returns. Affiliates of the debate session, I refuse to that, because what if the business doesn't work? Are you going to earn the profits? Definitely not. Affiliates of the debate session, I still stand.
May I speak about intervention allowed?
Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, when we say that there is potential returns in one invested, it means that you are going to put your expertise, your knowledge, and your core strength in one kind of arrangement and to be able to get proper returns. Who gets proper understanding? Who studies 10 subjects and one studies one subject? It's for you to articulate.
Affiliates of the debate session, members of a high risk of people doing business who are experiencing BP. This means that it's because of the potential that they put in one business, and when they face the loss, they definitely get sick and definitely die. After years of this session, allow me to forge ahead as though I was not disturbed. Allow me to give you the roadmap on how we are going to move as the opposing side as follows. After years of this session, I think the first speaker, I am going to talk about amplifying loss potential, which made me firmly to say no to the motion. Not only that, but my second speaker is going to talk about missed opportunities for growth. My third speaker is going to talk about lack of potential of high returns, and the summarizer is going to summarize everything into simplicity. After years of this session, members of the House, allow me now to express myself why I start firm and set the motion by the following point. Lack of potential, the amplified loss potentials. After years of this session, investing in one source of investment can cause substantial losses. After years of this session, members of the House, you agree with me that if you have 3 or 4 sources of investment, if one does not work, you can also benefit from the remaining 3. Not only that, after years of this session, this also causes lack of diversion. When you are depending on one source of investment, you are simply saying.
The speaker Paul.
Members of the House Assembly elections, when they talk about growing your wealth, we are talking about how you can properly invest your money. You don't just wake up and invest. Therefore, you have to do your research. Which one can bring you proper returns? And therefore, it's important that when you invest for your money, you are able to get proper returns. If that business goes boom, then just will as an option.
A few years of this session, members of the House Assembly elections, you cannot dream to start a business right now. But if you are invested in one source, you are going to experience a lot of substantial losses. Those losses, they are going to cause you to be down. A few years of this session, not only that, but investing your wealth in one or investment can also lead you to no opportunities to recover the losses. If you've lost in that business, you are not going to have other sources where you can recover the losses. A few years of this session, I simply and stand firm saying no to the motion. Not only that, financial setbacks. When you are working on one business, you are expected to experience financial setbacks. These financial setbacks will pull you down and you are not able to recover. Members of the House Assembly elections, I still stand firm saying no to the motion. At this moment in time, I raise my case.
This time around it's heated. A round of applause for the first speaker. So just remember that in spite of not winning the first debate, it's very possible that they can accumulate enough points to qualify to the final. It's anyone's game at this point, so all the best to all institutions. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, let us now give it up to the Deputy Prime Minister. A round of applause.
Proposing to the motion which states as articulates, the best way to grow wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spending it out. As I oppose to this motion, before I go any further, I want to acknowledge or simply say all protocol behind the mandate in the House of Things. As a Deputy Prime Minister from the government side, it's my job to battle against what the opposition leader said. He said that increasing the likelihood of losing money. I repeat, increasing the likelihood of losing money. Everyone knows that a business has a loss and a profit side. And if you are going to invest in multiple businesses, the chances of you losing money is very high because not everything will work out. But if you are a very smart and intellectual of a person, you can invest in one type of business because one type of business, not allowed. In one type of business, that means that.
Honorable member, may you hold on interjection allowed.
Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, it's like my opponent, he was not clearly listening to what what my speaker was talking about. Our first point from our first speaker is amplified losses, which means if you have a lot of business, in case one does not perform well, you can still recover the loss from the other business. But you are talking about increase.
Your time is up, Honorable Member. Your time is up.
I don't know what Mr. Speaker is really talking about. Why? Because that an increase in the likelihood of losing money and amplifying losses, I don't know where it's different. Because amplifying and increasing is just the same thing. I don't know where it's coming from. But anyway, as I was proceeding, a single business is very likely to increase money, in the reason being that when you invest in one type of business, for example, mining, if you invest in mining, that means you know the expertise, you are an expert in rocks and everything. Now, if you say, I'm a businessman who's going to invest in mines, and I will know I will also invest in politics. Why is I not even being a politician? If I make losses in politics and I go to mining, I will definitely lose that. Furthermore, now, these are the points which are going to happen as well. Easy to manage and understand. As I was saying, every business is very easy to understand if you are only specifying on one.
Speaker, pause. Objection allowed.
Members of the House Assembly Directors, I'm from hearing the previous speaker stating to say, I'm a minor, I shouldn't also enter into politics. My previous speaker, please. What will happen if the mining sector doesn't go well? And you sure you're going to recover anything at the end of the day? Definitely no. Please tell us the facts and not cheating the house. Thank you very much.
I don't know what my speaker is really talking about because if you don't understand very well, notice is not coming in business where you are anticipating. If you get into school, you are not likely to fail because every teacher in school decides proficient in one subject, which they can highly teach well. I don't know where they are coming from, but I feel that more. So as I was giving an example of an independent government, an independent business. For example, if they said we are very much in diversifying, allocating many points, for example, if they were chasing people around not just for money, but for corruption, would the same existing right now? Because as you can see, same here follows people who are in possession of money. They try to find out businesses and find international markets. That's their main ID specification. But if they don't do that, if they go in other ventures, would the same exist today? Definitely no. Then I move on. Full control over the investment. A full control over an investment means that, for example, how Elon Musk ran Tesla. Elon Musk runs Tesla in a way that he produces all the cars himself. We know he specifies his business, but when he started, he was in one business. He never went to other types of business. For example, if I say that the United States of America now stops doing peace and starts fighting against war, they'll be making no sense. If Zambia now says we are business, we will be selling out our country now, how are we going to survive? Instead of protecting the people, that business will then fail. Like a government. A government is here to protect itself. That's their major function as a business. Now, if the government says no, we are going to act as terrorists, are we going to live as people? Definitely not. So, understanding and controlling the investment comes in a way that any person with who has professional knowledge and is well trained in that field can never make losses because you look at every specific detail that going to say, no, I'll do this part, that part, that part. At the end of the day, it's just wasting time.
Okay. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now, just a warning to everyone in the house. The noise that you are making, you risk making your team lose marks. Okay, this is especially going to Solwezi School of Nursing. I've noticed that you are the ones that are making quite a lot of noise. So please, to avoid your institution losing marks, please let's maintain silence and let's allow the debate to flow. If you've reached a point where you can no longer listen, the door is open, you're free to go and wait outside and then come back on the inside, yeah? When you're ready to listen. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, let us please welcome the Deputy Opposition Leader. A big round of applause.
Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, but before I go any further, allow me to recognize the presence of the people who highly deserve it in the House of the Rep. The chairperson, the cabinet, the police, may I say operator will be highly observed. Calling the motion under discussion. The best way to grow wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out and of contention. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, as the Deputy Speaker from the opposing side, I stand firm to refuse to this motion with this point. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, we talk about missed opportunities for growth. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, diversification allows investors to participate in the growth of various sectors and asset classes. By limiting yourself to one type of investment, you may miss out an opportunity in other areas that could offer higher returns or stability. For instance, balancing stock with bonds and other assets can provide growth potential while mitigating risk. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you don't...
May I speak upon the judge now? Use the mic, please.
The deputy opposition leader is talking about missed opportunities. What about the missed opportunity in making the bigger money when you use your expertise? What about that? Why are you just trying to look at the losses that can happen? Does it mean that everyone that made it used diversification? Is it true? When you look at the people that made it, is everyone the one that diversified? Or most of them concentrated their energy in one kind of investment?
Your time is up, honorable member.
Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you would agree with me that almost everyone knows the story of our Republican president, who is no other than Hakainde Hichilema. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, before he became president, was once an agriculture. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, he has got a lot of qualifications which can obtain his access to other opportunities rather than presidency. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, if my opponents here are totally agreeing that we should really invest in one business, members of the House, I heard my opponents talking about only studying in one course for you to concentrate more on your course. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, they are necessary to believe they have got more than 14 courses which they study. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, if it's truly that they really want to study more, why do they not only further or study in one course? Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, let's look again on another risk, another point.
May I speak upon?
The member to clarify for us if it is really true that when you diversify in those other areas where you have not used the expertise that you are likely really to get more money there. Because when you're talking about one investment, what if it can fail in one? What about in those many others? Are you not going to lose that much bigger? Can you clarify?
Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, when I talk about diversification, I talk about you learning more tactics, more ways on how to build your business. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you would agree with me that when you fail in agriculture, you might produce in finances. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you might go and learn more ideas from other sectors rather than just depending in one sector. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, allow me to continue as if I was not disturbed. Going to the second point, which is increased risk exposure. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, investing solely in one type of asset amplifies your exposure to specific market fluctuations. For example, loading a large portion of a portfolio in technology stocks subjects you to sector-specific downturns. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, the recent underperformance of major technology stocks, known as the Magnificent Seven, has highlighted the risk of such concentration. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, when you invest in more than one sector, members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you will be given opportunities to learn and understand on how to run in other business rather than depending in one business which may lead you. But members of the House Assembly intellectuals, we have got a parable which says, do not lay all eggs in one basket. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you believe that when at least one business fails, the other business might light you up to build the business which has fallen. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you believe with me with the current economy of the country. If at all we're depending in other business, we can at least increase in our business. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, you believe with me that when you invest in more than one business and fail, the other business will benefit you. Hence, you knowing more on how to promote your business and promoting your service. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, with the 15 points of mine, I raise my case.
A round of applause, please. So remember the debate is whether or not to invest in one business or invest in more businesses in order to grow your wealth. And also just be reminded that it's still anyone's ball, anyone can still qualify for the final. At this point, let us please welcome the third speaker, who is the government member from the government side. A round of applause.
Strongly propose the motion as I stated in court. The best way to grow wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out. End of quotation. It would be unwise for wise people like I to comment without passing on my total respect to the following point out of the Mr. Chairperson, I salute to implicitly, let me say, or protocol highly of them. It's actually unfortunate that we see people that are rebutting against the government that has placed in regulations that we can follow good advice that can benefit me and you. The previous speaker spoke about missed opportunities. What do you mean missed opportunities? In fact, when you generalize, when you specify in one sector, it will enable you to get much experience from that sector. We're talking about you investing in one company or one institution. So this institution, you do not expect it to be stagnant in one place, but you expect it to be growing. And of course, as it's growing, you will also be growing. She also talks about not putting the eggs in the same basket, but let me tell you, you can put the eggs in the same basket, provided you know what you're doing, provided you know how to take good care of them. Yes. Going to the point on why I'm strongly opposing to this motion, the judges, note this down. We are talking about successful investors that have invested in one particular platform and have been able to grow. We're talking about Elon Musk. We're talking about Warren Buffett. These people, they invested in one platform. We can talk about Elon Musk investing in Bitcoin, in crypto asset currencies. We have seen that he's one of the most billionaire people in the world because he was able to generalize. I can tell you, just like the way in the audience we have nurses and teachers, you cannot tell me that you can do both at the same time, being a nurse and being a teacher. That's really not necessary. This is why you find that this person lacks knowledge, they lack qualities of understanding what really they are doing. They'll be pressurized by different institutions. We're talking about Kabumbila at large. We're talking about Bariki. We'll see that these people, they have invested only in what's in mind because they have seen that once they invest in one particular area, they'll be able to get what? They'll be able to get enough income. They'll be able to get massive income. And I can assure you that in Zambia, Bariki is one of the most wealthy companies that we have because they chose wisely. So you can't be talking about spreading out
Speaker Paul.
Affiliates of the debate session, members of the House, the speaker here talked about people who are successful, who have done it better in one of investment without providing dividends. I will give you an evident example of Mark Zuckerberg, who has invested in both WhatsApp and Facebook. The reason why he invested in both is because
your time is up.
Okay, so we're talking about a person that actually invested in WhatsApp and Facebook, which is actually unnecessary because we're talking about investments here. So he's talking about WhatsApp and Facebook, being this person being a billionaire and all that, but we're talking about Bitcoin. So what it is, when you invest in a specific company or specific institution, it doesn't mean that that institution has no other branches. No, we can talk about Bariki. Bariki has a lot of branches of which you can still invest in. So what we're saying is we should not diversify in a lot of companies because you'll be unable to give proper advice on what you are doing. Just for example, someone comes and asks you to say, where do you invest in? And provide me quality information of where you are investing in. I'm assuring you, you give us useless reasons because you're not sure of what you're doing. The other reason that we can talk about is transaction costs. We can see that all these
Honorable member, your time is up.
1 minute, please.
15 seconds only.
Okay, we're talking about reduced transaction costs. These institutions that should want to diversify in, they'll be rather interested in getting tax from you than you earning good revenue. So no wonder we are saying diversification is not the matter here. What we're talking about is specified in one area.
Your time is up, honorable member. A big round of applause for her. So just a caution to the speakers. The mics that we are using are not just for this particular audience. This debate is live on Facebook. You can stream it on the Securities and Exchange Commission Facebook page. So if you want some people to watch who are not here, please feel free to go on their page, Securities and Exchange Commission, and you can be able to share. So please ensure that you use the mic so that even the audience on Facebook is able to get what we're saying. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, let us please welcome the opposition member. A round of applause.
Members of the House, Assembly Intellectuals, before I go any further, allow me to pass my humble greetings to the people represented in the House of Debate. Mr. Moderator, sir, the judges, the timekeeper, or may I simply say all protocol we have observed. Getting back the motion to the discussion which states as I call. The best way to grow wealth is by putting all your money in one type of investment rather than spreading it out and of thought. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, I heard the government side stating to say Elon Musk has become rich because of one thing. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, let me ask them, Elon Musk, are you sure he's just in Bitcoin? Definitely no. He's also many other technological things that he's doing. They are producing coins, they are producing a lot of things which are actually making him become rich. Therefore, it states it shows figures to us. He has not only based in one thing, but he has gone in many other things. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, the government side also stated to say, but mining has become actually rich because of just mining sector. Let me ask them another question. Are you telling me that mining sector is just one thing? Definitely no. They enter in a lot of things that they do. Such as
the speaker pause.
When we talk about investment in one area, we are not necessarily limiting it. We are saying that that same area can actually diversify itself in its own. Therefore, when you talk about technology, if you are invested in technology, concentrate in that technology. Don't start moving without direction. Therefore, we are saying that go in order.
Thank you. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, it seems like diversity is not well understood by the government side. Because when we talk of producing points and being in technological issues, are you telling me that producing points and having websites is the same thing? Definitely no. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, the government side also stated that there's a reduced transaction risk in using or rather investing in one program. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, when you are actually doing a business at higher rate, are you telling me that you have the same tasks that will be quoted by the government? Definitely no. As higher you go, as higher the government also taxes you. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals. Therefore, putting in one investment is not really the best way to go. Rather, we have to diversify and to come up with a good solution. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, allow me to go into actually the point as to why I stand strongly opposing to this motion. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, actually, being the same business is actually able or rather it is vulnerable to high risk of losing everything. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, let's have an example of one who is in transport and logistics, and then it happens that their vehicle or rather their bus happens to be involved in an accident. What will happen? They will have definitely lost all their money. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, the best way we can do is actually to go into many other different businesses. Let's look at people are working, like actually Mark Zuckerberg. I can also talk of Bill Gates. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, Bill Gates did not only come up with Microsoft, but also with other sectors which are actually made him to be rich and even to be known today. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, let's look at the politicians. Are you telling me that they're just in politics? No. Let's look at the police men and women, some of which actually were even teachers, some of which were even nurses. But what is happening today? They are fixed and indeed they are going to many other things. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, if you want to be a person who will be doing agriculture, what will happen with transportation? It will definitely be costing you. As such, you have to be in agriculture as well as in transportation and logistics. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals.
Speak up all.
Members of the House of Assembly Intellectuals standing on content. What we are saying is that we are using expertise. We are not talking about anyone investing anyhow. We are talking about somebody that's taking their proper time to think and scrutinize every opportunity, every risk, and to invest wisely. Therefore, it's not imperative. The probability that you invest in other areas, what is the probability that you...
Time up, honorable member. Time up.
Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, it seems like the government side is really missing the main point. Let's look at those that are in agriculture. Are you telling me that they are not expertise in agriculture? Of course they are there. But what happened to the actual natural disasters which happened to not having rain? Are you sure it can be solved by someone who's expertise in agriculture? Definitely no. For such people who are just in agriculture, of course they lost their life. And such, identifying is actually the best way to resolve such. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, allow me to go to my next point, which says lack of potential for high returns. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, these businesses, they have seasons. Agriculture has seasons. Even transport and logistics, there are some seasons where many people actually happen to travel, and there are some seasons where many people actually tend to go in other ways. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, you know, I agree with you that if one is in many businesses, it will happen that the time this one business is doing well, it will happen. Just wait for the chairperson, can you pass the question for one time? Thank you. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, the solution actually doing things well is by simply diversifying. With this few and convincing points, I raise my case.
We can do much better. A big round of applause. We're almost reaching the end of this particular debate. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now down to the last two speakers. These speakers will each be given 5 minutes, and they cannot be interjected. To the debaters, all the best as you conclude. At this point, let us please put our hands together for the young people.
Due to my limited time, allow me to say a protocol behind the observed in the House of Debate, up to the motion which says and articulates, which is underscored in this beautiful morning. The best way to go is by putting all your money in one type of investment, rather than spreading it out into quotation. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, I as the chief whip of the government, I strongly stand to affirm to the motion and reinforce what my members spoke. But to be fair, I don't want me to go any further. We're not really trying to rebuttal what their opposition was trying to talk about. I'm going to start to narrow it down to the Mr. Speaker. I heard Mr. Speaker talk about the risks. All right, just a minute. Right. So the Mr. Speaker was there talking about hypertension. If you invest in multiple kinds of arrangement, in one kind of arrangement, is it not investing in many arrangements that will bring hypertension? Look at the stress that you're supposed to go into. If you start stressing about what you have invested in so many areas, what if you invest in one area? What we are talking about is you don't just wake up and invest anyhow. We're talking about when you start to think properly, to analyze information critically, analyze everything and see every risk, outline every kind of arrangement and see how best you can invest. It's not just about waking up and investing anyhow. Members of the House say it is therefore our position as the government that it is not very unwise to invest anyhow. It is very wise to invest in one kind of arrangement in order for to make potential returns. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, they were talking about things like amplifying voice. This was the second speaker from the government, from the opposition. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, they say that if you invest in one area, you amplify voices. As the government, we strongly oppose that motion due to this reason. Allow me to narrow it down. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, it is not really amplifying the losses. It is rather amplifying the probability that you will win more returns. What are we talking about? We are talking about if you invest properly, you take your time to understand the business that you want to venture into. And when you understand, you put your expertise in it, you put your energy and effort in it, and you make it work. It is not for the weak, it is bad for the strong. Therefore, we as the government strongly stand and say that it is very important for you to invest in only one area rather than diversifying anyhow. Because when you diversify anyhow, it already shows that you lack direction. Because you are just trying to diversify in the point of that you feel like anything can work out. You are not really serious. You are not really sure of what you are doing. Therefore, investment is not a game of chance, but it is a game of expertise. It is therefore important that you look into that. Another thing is that they say that the other speaker talked about missed opportunities. Members of the House Assembly Intellectuals, what are these missed opportunities? What about missing the opportunity of making more money? saying that if you take your time, analyze, scrutinize, and think properly, and see where you want to invest, you will be able to have the expertise, knowledge, risk factors, everything taken into consideration, and be able to understand how you are going to invest and how best you are going to get that money. Therefore, it is important that you will not miss the opportunity to make that money. It is not possible that you will lose out if you put all your expertise. I mean, members of the House, Assembly intellectuals. It is all well known that as human beings, we cannot really diversify our minds anyhow. We know that we need to focus on one thing, and therefore it is important that we focus on this arrangement where we invest in one area. These people that have made it big, we understand that they invested in one area. Talk about Elon Musk, invested in SpaceX. What did he do? In Tesla. Members of the House, after he reaches that point, does he have where to take his money? He's therefore now trying to invest in other areas. But his main interest was investing. I'm not talking from without, but from within. With me here is evidence that I'll give out later, which is stating in Tesla's stock performance. This one is a report published in 2021. It is talking about how people invested in Tesla, concentrated in Tesla, managed to get potential returns. It is not just out of anywhere from our grandmother's knowledge, but from evidence. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, allow me now to reinforce what my members were talking about. My Prime Minister here talked about, they talked about how you can have the potential to make more returns. What does that mean? What it means is that when we focus our energy in one area, we understand that we as human beings cannot completely fail. We're trying to look at probability here. What is the probability that when you use all your energy and expertise and you use your resources prudently in one area that you are going to lose out? What is the probability of losing out? Where is that statistic? Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, if you ask me as the opposition, the government whip, I will tell you that it is not possible that you can lose out when you scrutinize an investment properly before you enter into it. We have the SEC, we have people to advise us. We have people you can go to. This is why they are here. The Securities and Exchange Commission, they can advise you. Please invest wisely in this area.
Your time is up, Honorable Member. 10 seconds.
Kindly pass this piece of evidence to the judges. It is containing all the information on how these people that concentrated all their efforts in one area managed to be able to get property in returns. Members of the House, in conclusion, I want me to say that data out there is real, but fear is rather an option.
Time out.
Therefore, important for us to invest wisely.
That was the final speaker from Northwestern University. Now we have the final speaker for this particular debate from Solwezi College of Education. Ladies and gentlemen, the opposition group. A round of applause.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for the opportunity granted. Honorable educators, esteemed opponents, and fellow students. As a chief whip from the opposite side, I stand before you to affirm to affirm and quote the motion that says, as I quote, the best way to grow well is by putting all your money in one type of investment, which we are saying no. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, I am here to rebuttal with the points that were raised by the government side, in which the first speaker talked of high potential return. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, you would agree with me that the owner of Legacy School, who just invested in private school business, was affected by coronavirus outbreak when no one was allowed to go in classes. When they invented the idea of using technology, so many students were affected. That even affected the business. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, the second point that was raised by the second speaker was full control over the investment. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, you would agree with me that Tesla, Elon Musk, the one that the speaker mentioned about, he did not just invest in Bitcoin, but also other technologies such as aircraft and other motorcycles, making it easier for him to grow the wealthy rather than focusing on one thing. The speaker talked about successful investment. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, if one business is affected, can it make the business successful? No. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, as the opposition, we are here standing, maintaining in particular to oppose to this motion. We are saying no. It is not ideal to invest in one business. Rather, you can try two other businesses such as agriculture and technologies that can help you. If agriculture is affected by drought, you can get other benefits from another business. Members of the House, Assembly intellectuals, it is now my my duty as a chief whip or rather a summarizer from the opposition side to break down all what I have said and give you a clear overview of what has been discussed in the motion. Members of the House of Assembly, my speaker mentioned of amplified loss potential. Members of the House Assembly intellectual, focusing on a lot of business can make you reduce the losses. Why? Because if you invest in a lot of businesses, meaning you are going to have more benefits that can make going to grow wealthy. Remember, we are here to convince, but not to confuse. We are here to tell people the right way, but not the wrong way. We are in 21st century in which technology is improving, the standard of living is improving. We should focus on things that will make our incoming generation live well, rather than focusing one thing that will limit creativity. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, I can talk of the just incoming curriculum, that is competence-based curriculum, which is teaching learners a lot of skills rather than just depending on theory. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, this curriculum is just based on skills such as agriculture, technology, and other things that will make our incoming generation be stable than just relying on one thing. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, my third speaker talked of lack of potential for higher returns. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, my opponents were talking about Bill Gates, Elon Musk, in which these people have invested in a lot of things that is making them have the high potential of return. Even the government is investing in a lot of things that is making them collect revenue and a lot of income rather than just focusing on one thing. For example, if I am a person that is investing in a hydropower supply, and then the hydropower supply is affected by drought, am I going to get profit or loss? Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, to rebuttal or rather to continue with the summing up of the point, our third speaker talked of missed opportunities for growth. Members of the House Assembly intellectuals, if you focus on one thing, you are going to miss out.
Your time is up, honorable member.
Through the chair, I ask for more time.
15 seconds only.
Thank you. I cannot take you away, but let me just give you a simple example. Freka invested in House of Rents and buses. That made him grow the wealth, and also Mutko Bakery. Not only bakery, but even restored. To sum up, I rest my case.
Okay. Remember, each school is accumulating points in order for them to qualify to the final. And so at this point, the only debate that is left is between Northwestern University and Solwezi School of Nursing, right? At this point, in the spirit of unity, I will ask the two sides to please shake hands, just in the spirit of unity. We can give them a round of applause for a spirited fight. You can shake hands, please. Okay, we can take our seats as we wait. We can take our seats in the audience. In the audience, we can take our seats in the audience as we wait for the judges to deliberate. Let me also just make mention that from here, before we get into the next debate, we'll break off for lunch, just for about 30 minutes or so. I think our MC will give guidance. As we wait for the judges, I will hand over to her.
Okay, another round of applause for our debaters. All right, thank you. You've been an awesome audience. We can break for lunch as guided. We'll do 30 to 45 minutes max. So please feel free to go out for your lunch. You can join us after 30 to 45 minutes. We'll resume at exactly, what's the time now? Yes, at exactly 14:45, we will be back in here. Can I have the debate teams come to see Mubanga, who will be on stage? Okay, so we'll start with Northwestern College of Education of Health and Applied Science. Please come to the stage. One by one, as your team, you can see Mubanga for your lunch. The debaters, our debate team is consisting of 8 people. It's got 6 debaters and 2 patrons, matron and patron. Kindly see Mubanga on stage. Followed by Solwezi College of Education, 6 debaters, 2 patrons. And then Northwestern, Solwezi School of Nursing and Midwifery also, 6 debaters, 2 patrons. Kindly see Mubanga. Education, which one is it? Yes.